Episode 1267, All for Love.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Staring at a stop sign, watching people drive by.
Happy every day. It is Saturday, and are you ready to build your foundation in your relationship? It's Relationship Builders Day, and it's all for love. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already haven't had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com, where you can learn more and to sign up for the Kisses newsletter, the Keep It Simple Strategy Everyday Solutions to Live, Love, and Impact. Well, I've got to give a shout out to Miranda and say I so enjoyed talking with you. And by the way, congratulations on your engagement. I'm sure your wedding is going to be absolutely beautiful. Well, when you're married, there are things you just do all for love. You don't think about it twice. But what about those times when you are tearing down or nagging too much? All for love? If you were to look back into yesterday and replay in your head every action and word, response, and look that you gave, how would you say you are loving your spouse? When you took your vows, it was for better or for worse. Love didn't have conditions. But sometimes as life gets busier and our patience gets smaller, we forget how to love the one we said I do to. It's all about what? Convenience. And if it's not working for you, then it's not going to work. Now, I'm not saying that that's your mindset. You're not actually consciously saying I'm thinking that. However, when you're looking back and you're replaying, think about your actions and your words. You get what? Too comfortable. You've got each step and comment that you make, even facial expressions become more relaxed and less censored. Now, some would argue that you should be yourself with no walls or worries. Yes, you should be able to tear down those walls. You should be able to be completely you, but at what cost? Your spouse has feelings just like you do. Words can be misconstrued. Actions can be wrongly interpreted. How much is all for love? Well, as you ponder that for a moment, I want to give you a little bit of hope from our sponsor, Health, Hope, and Inspiration with Reverend Percy McRae, a podcast created by Cancer Treatment Centers of America to provide cancer care information and resources to the faith-based community. Every program is filled with information and interviews that will encourage your heart, educate your mind, strengthen your body, build your faith, and give you hope. Join in with the over 100,000 people who have already discovered Health, Hope, and Inspiration. You can subscribe to the weekly podcast at healthhopeandinspiration.com. Well, only if love had a written manual. Love for dummies? Doesn't sound real appealing, does it? And the thing is, there is a written manual. It's the Bible. Jesus showed us how to love when he walked on earth. But how much are we applying it to our relationships? I think about this often as I'm personally challenged with loving my spouse right where he is in his journey. Sometimes, I find myself judging him. That's hard to admit, but come on, I'm human. And there's judgment there like, why did he do that? That was stupid. He should know better. How old is he? How long have we been married? Those kind of questions, those kinds of thoughts, that's not at all helping our relationship. It's just what? Tearing down our foundation. When I'm judging him, thinking that he should be further along in his discovery of how to love me than where he is, what does that do for him? Nothing. All of it is unfair. Judgment has no place in marriage, but we do it. All for love. Let's begin the process of mending the broken areas and strengthening the weaker parts in your marriage. It's all for love. And that's your kiss. It's all for love. And it's a simple question, but it's a very bold question, and it's probably one you're not going to like. So listen up. how is this serving him? Or if it's your wife, how is this serving her? How is this serving him? When you're dating, easier to answer. You probably would have a quick response just like that. But now you're like, oh no. And already, when I asked you that question, were you not already listing things? Well, I don't know. He doesn't treat me this way. And, if he would only do this, and, I can think about 5 things on one finger. The one that I pointed him that he does wrong every single day. Why can't he learn after 12 years of marriage? What's wrong with him? Come on, be honest. This is your relationship as much as it is his relationship. You want a stronger foundation, you have to be all for love. Ask the question, how is this serving him? If you cannot answer in a positive way, you are on the wrong track. You're not supporting your spouse. Who wants to be on the wrong side of the track? You don't want to be. When I was growing up in one of the little small towns I used to live in Indiana, our house was right next to the railroad track. Okay, maybe there was one building in between it, but it was really loud. The crazy thing is I loved the railroad tracks. I don't know what it is. On my dad's side of the family, they were, worked for UP, Union Pacific Railroad, and it was just something that I felt like was a part of me. But the cool thing is that my girlfriends and I would go and we would walk down the tracks. And then we would cut over through a field to go to their house because I lived a little bit further out, just on the outskirts of town, not quite out of town. But I was on the outskirts of town, so I had to kind of walk into it. And I can always remember that we would kind of kid each other. Oh, you're on the wrong side. Oh, no, you're on the wrong side. And we would jump and play. And nowadays, of course, you don't want your children doing that, right? No, we don't want that at all. But back then, it was carefree. Life was easy. And so we would play along the railroad tracks and always listen for the train, obviously. And usually it was like a 2 or 3 time of day run, and we just knew when it was coming. So we were safe. I promised you we were safe. But none of us want to be on the wrong side of the tracks. And you're doing that if you're not serving your spouse. You're choosing to say, you know what? This is where I want you. And if you can't come up to this position, then, maybe you're not worthy. Maybe you're just not good enough. Maybe you're not fill in the blank. Now understand, I know you're not actually saying these things, but in your mind, when you make questions and you just do these little comments, it's breaking down your relationship. And that's not at all benefiting the love that God wants you to build, that foundation. When you aren't supportive, that means walls are being built up. When you have walls in a marriage, your relationship is crumbling. It's not about the walls that you build, it's about the foundation that you build. So instead, change the equation all for love. Serve with a grateful heart. Serve. Jesus exemplified that to us. He served us and still does. 1 John 4:19 says, we love because he first loved us. We are called to serve. And it's easy to get overconfident in where you are in your relationship. Are you really doing it? Are you really serving to the capacity that you have been called to? Yes, no marriage is perfect. My marriage definitely isn't perfect. I know I get on my husband's nerves and he gets on mine. But I love him dearly. And there are times that I have to sit there and go, okay, I'm here to serve. I got to bite my tongue. Or wait, what can I do to serve him better? What can I do to make his day brighter? We all have flaws. We all can get on our spouse's nerves, right? We do it. Don't take your spouse for granted and assume all is okay. Something about marriage. We say I do, and it's like, okay, work's done. This is the easy part. I got the ring. We got the house. I got the job. Kids are next, or maybe kids are before, whatever it is. But now it's time. This is it. This is the life. I don't have to work anymore. So what? You let down all guards. I'm not saying that you have to act a certain way. What I'm saying is you have to be aware in your marriage. You have to be awake in your marriage. You have to do it all for love. Ask the question, how is this serving Him? You have to remember to continually open your heart and serve, all for love. Don't get trapped in the busyness. Don't make the assumptions that He should know what you're thinking, because I'm telling you right now, He doesn't know. You could be married for 30 years. He doesn't know. So you've got to love Him where He's at. Serve, serve, serve. Something so simple, so basic, yet so forgotten. Are you ready to put that into action into your relationship today? Are you ready to take that next step and say, I'm all in? It's not just about me being happy. It's about serving Him. I mean, do you think some of the things that Jesus did He was happy about? Who really wants to wash dirty feet? I mean, nowadays at least we got some shoes that cover some things. So they may be just a little stinky if we sweat. But I mean, come on, get real, right? Jesus washed dirty, yucky feet. He didn't complain. He healed people when He was tired. The man was human. He needed his rest. But He still went above and beyond. And we forget that in our marriage. We think that, well, after it's all said and done, I don't have to worry anymore. I'm not saying you have to worry. I am saying you have to be consistent. And yeah, it does take two, but it starts with one. So where are you with that? Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to serve as you've been called to serve? Maybe you're struggling with this and you really cannot put it into perspective. You need some tools. You need some action steps that say, okay, this is what I need to do. Maybe this is how I need to phrase things, because for some reason, I can't get my point across. And it happens all the time. What's wrong with me? Don't go to the blame game on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Instead, click on the link, take aim in the show notes. I have a free gift for you. It's a coaching call with me. You and I will chat about your specific situation. And you'll be able to walk away with some tools and strategies to implement, to help you. Maybe it is just a matter of changing a couple words. Maybe it is changing the look on your face. You won't know until you click that link. So be brave today. Be courageous. I can't wait to hear from you. All for love. We all want that love story. We want to come home and just feel this tingle. The tingle is something that you create by the actions and the words that are used. You extinguish all of that when you stop serving. So start serving, all for love. Today, make it a challenge. Look for opportunities specifically where you are in your day-to-day. Maybe it's in the kitchen, or maybe you walk out to the garage and he's working on the car. Now, if my husband was out in the garage working on the car, well, okay, that would be for a whole nother episode. Number one, it's too hot to be outside in the garage. And number two, that is not his forte. But if he's out there, I can still go and say, hey, man, how can I help you, hun? Even though I don't have a clue what to do. Or I can go out and have a conversation or be supportive. Start looking for opportunities to serve. Open your heart and serve, all for love. Not just when you want something or to cover up a mistake or a mishap. Consistency. Serve, all for love. Because one step at a time leads to your miles of greatness. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.